श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। So we are going to start the 15th chapter. Yesterday I gave you a hint that this is a very important chapter. Why is it very important chapter? It's a very small chapter actually. It has only 20 shlokas. But this is supposed to be a very important chapter. Why? The name says, the name of the chapter is Purushottama Yoga. So that name itself is a very great thing. But other than that, there are some important things regarding this chapter. The 15th chapter is the chapter which they chant while serving the food. Only after the chanting of this chapter is complete, they will partake the food. In North Indian ashrams, they have this rule of chanting this chapter specifically. Without chanting this chapter, they don't take the food. So that is how this chapter becomes a very important chapter. I'll come to the story again. पूर्वाध्याये भगवता संसारबन्धहेतून् गुणान् व्याख्याय. So in the previous chapter, Bhagavan very clearly said samsara bandha hetun, the cause for the samsara, the bondage in samsara is a gunan, the three gunas. Iti vyakhyaya. After explaining this, tesham atyayena brahma bhava mokshaha. By crossing over that samsara, one gains the Brahma Bhava, the state of being the Brahman, becoming the Brahman, existing as Brahman, which is called as moksha. That is gained. And how is that gained? By giving this up. But what is the means? Mad bhajanena, that is. Mad bhajanena labhyate iti ukta. Through my worship, it is gained. That state of being Brahman, that is said. Where was it said? Oh, we would have forgotten. So he is bringing the shloka directly. Maam cha yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate iti. Maam cha yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. One who worships me with unfaltering devotion. Abhyabhicharena. Vyabhichara means faltering. Avyabhichara means unfaltering. So without faltering, one who worships me through devotion, sa gunan samatitya, etan gunan samatitya, he after crossing these gunas, brahma bhuyaya kalpate, becomes eligible to be the Brahman. No, that is it. Tatra manushyasya tava bhakti yogena, tava bhakti yogena, katham brahma bhavaha iti akanshaya. See, there is a doubt, probably this is a doubt, this is a valid doubt. Anyone will have. So, what is the doubt? Manushyasya tava bhakti yogena. You are a human being. Worshipping you, having devotion to you, how can I gain Brahma Bhavaha? Katham Brahma Bhavaha? How can I gain that absolute state? That is a valid doubt. Iti akanshayam. For this doubt, swasya brahmarupata jnapanaya sutra bhuto ayam shlokaha bhagavata uktaha. To show, to remind Arjuna about his inherent nature being the Brahman. Sutra bhuto ayam shlokaha bhagavata uktaha. Bhagavan explained this this shloka as an aphorism. Sutra aphorism. What is a sutra? Alpaksharam asandigdham saravat vikshvato mukham astobham anavatyam cha sutram sutra vidam viduhu. People who know about what a sutra definition is, they say that which has a less number of characters, which is less number of characters, it's without any doubt. It is said in brief, but it's without doubt. It has the essence of whatever needs to be said. That is what is called as sutra. Now Bhagavan said this. What did Bhagavan say like that there in the previous chapter? He says, Brahmano hi pradisthaham amritasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya etkantikasya cha. Aham hi pratishtha, for what? I am the substratum for what? Aikantikasya sukhasya dharmasya shashvatasya avyayasya amritasya brahmanah. For that Brahman which is all these. These 8 are the adjectives for that Brahman, attributes of that Brahman. Not attributes, adjectives for that Brahman here. Okay? Now, Asya Sutrasya Vrittisthaniyoyam Panchadashodhyaya Arabhyate. This 15th chapter is a commentary upon that shloka which is set in aphorism form. भगवतः श्री कृष्णस्य हि तत्त्वं ज्ञात्वा तत् प्रेम भजनेन गुणातीतः सन् ब्रह्मभावं कथम् आप्नुयात् लोके इति. Why is it said this? Why does Bhagavan say this? He says, Bhagavata Krishnasya hi tattvam jnatva. By knowing the inherent nature of Bhagavan Krishna, tat prema bhajanena, worshipping him through this devotion with love, gunatita san, by becoming gunatita, brahmabhavam katham apniyat. This fellow should gain somehow this state of being the Brahman. Thinking this, lokaha, this world should gain this. Thinking this, it is said. This commentary is said. Tatra. So this 15th chapter is that important that it is said, it is chanted in many of these ashrams. Almost all the ashrams chant this. Whether they are from this or that sect doesn't really matter. They will chant this 15th chapter. Another thing is, I have said that one sadhu while eating, had a debate with me when I asked for rice. This fellow, another crazy fellow, he said, I will, if you don't ask me Mahaprasad, I will give you rice, uncooked rice. While this debate was on, the other sadhu, he entered into that debate and he was started blabbering. That is the first time he is speaking to me or I am speaking to him. So I had to cut him short with my logic. I was very, 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 very strong in logic during that time. Strong in logic means I was applying logic in everything then. And I cut him into shreds. And this fellow told me, you are not a Brahmavit. You are not a Brahmavit. I said, I am Brahma without. I am not Brahmavit. I am Brahma without. I just wanted to say something. So while washing our hands, he said, don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Don't ever talk to me. As though I spoke to him. I have this rule of non-proliferation. Non-proliferation is in this nuclear non-proliferation treaty, they say. So it's something like that. I have a rule, which is a no first use. I don't normally talk to people or cut them off. So people have to talk to me and they have to cut themselves off if they want to be free of me. So this fellow said, I don't want to talk to you. And he cut me off. I said, okay, fine. And after a few days, or months probably, few months, I was sitting in my room and in Bhaktashram, I was sitting in my room and I was reading something and this fellow came to my room, in front of the room, and he said, Swamiji, can I come inside? I said, yes, please, come inside. Then he was like, Swamiji, I have a request for you. What is that? Tell me. If it is possible, I will do it. No, it is possible for you. You don't decide. Let me decide. Tell me what it is. He said his name is Shivam, incidentally. So Iswar was, I don't know. I have not seen him for quite some time. So many years. So anyway, so he said whenever I go to Bandaras, feast, they invite sadhus and they give them food and money and all those things. So I don't go to those kind of things. Didn't have time, basically. That is the reason, and that is one of the important reasons. So this fellow, he goes to all these feasts. So he asked me, everywhere, wherever I go, they chant this, and they look upon me like, look down upon me like, because I'm not able to chant this 15th shloka, 15th chapter. So I want you to please teach me that 15th chapter. Then I said, okay, but I don't have time. My schedule is so packed. I said, okay, you have to come during this time. If it is possible for you to come during this time, I'm fine with it. He came every day, and we did for around 2 months. It's only a small chapter, 20 shloka chapter, but the thing is, his pronunciation is so bad. He is a Tamil, and in for people in Tamil Nadu, shashasa etc. is all the kha kha ga gha etc. are very bad. It is not just the Tamils. The North Indians, they have another big problem. They always drop the final vowel. They, even if there is a final vowel, they drop it. Namah Shivaya, they will say Om Namah Shivaya it is, but they will say Om Namah Shivaya. So they have a terrible problem also. And Bengalis, of course, I said in the first chapter itself, Dhamma Kete Kurukete. Like Pali, they'll drop all the Sayuktaksha, the conjunct consonants. So Uddha Moolam Adha Sakam. I don't know what it is. So pronunciation is one terrible thing for many of these people. So I had to spend around 2 months. This fellow will look like an illiterate. Don't judge the book by its cover, they say, right? That is very much true with respect to this gentleman, this sadhu. He looked like an illiterate. It seems he studied BCom or MCom or something, and he was married or something. He gave up everything and came. What reasons, I don't know. But on one fine day, when he came to me, I am adding this story also in English. I didn't say this in Tamil. He asked me the Panchanga, the almanac. He asked me first, do you know 5 planets are falling in straight line this year? I said, I don't know. I said, I have almanac. If you know what to see, you see. Can I have a chalk piece and a slate? I said, I gave him. Cut, 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 cut. He calculated everything. Cut, 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 cut. In 2 minutes, he showed me. This is the reason. We are in straight line. The degrees are same almost. Then he asked, do you have your all these astrologers? They have this. Do you have your chart? I said, yes, have it. So the moment he saw, that is why Guruji. I said, what happened? See, you have in my birth chart, in my ascendant itself, there is Guru. You are born Guru first time. That is when I understood. I heard that about myself through somebody. Anyway, so that is what I know. I am a Guru. Anyway, so this fellow studied for 2 months, 15th chapter. That is this important chapter. तत्र ब्रह्मणो हि प्रतिष्ठा अहम इत्यादि भगवत वचनम आकर्ण्य. After listening to Bhagavan's statement that I am the substratum from even the Brahman, after hearing this, akarnya, after hearing this, karnya, karna means ear, karnya means akarnya, after hearing, karnya, hearing, okay? So akarnya, after hearing, mamatulyo manushyoyam, katham evam vadati iti. He is a human being like me. How can he say that? With this kind of idea, first, Vismaya Avishtam, Ati Bhayat, Lajjayacha. There are three kinds of emotions which were running in him. First, he was surprised. How can this fellow claim to be Brahman? Then he gives a benefit of doubt. If he is really Brahman, I was speaking to him casually, so casually. So Bhayat, there is a fear. First is Vismaya, surprise. What kind of idiot this fellow is? Then Bhaya, if it is really true. Then Lajjaya, what kind of person I am? I doubted him. So this can be interpreted in different ways also. Bhayat, so with fear. So first is he saw this kind of error in him. Is he normal? I am afraid to talk to this fellow. This fellow claims to be everything. So Bhayat, so fear of that also. Then Lajjaya, shyness. Now he is shy. Why? What kind of person he is? I thought he is something. He is my relative, and now he is Brahman itself. So this contradictory thoughts is hitting him so strongly. These emotions are hitting him so strongly. Kinchidapi prashtum ashaknovantam. He is not able to ask anything. He was just shocked, zapped. Now Arjunam alakshya, seeing Arjuna in this situation, this is the greatness of Bhagavan. Kripaya swaswarupam vivakshuhu. Bhagavan Kripaya, with the compassion, swaswarupam, his own inherent nature, vivakshuhu means bhaktumicho, desiring to say his inherent nature. Shri Bhagavan Bhagavan starts. Now we'll chant this. It's only 20 shlokas. We'll chant this shloka. I'll teach you how to chant this shloka. Okay? So chant along with me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. Ashvatham Prahur Avyayam. Okay. Second line. Chandam siyasya parnani. छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. First, chant along with me, okay? ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्. ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुः अव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यः तं वेद स वेदवित्. In Buddhism, especially in Zen Buddhism, there is this habit. I have explained about the Satori, etc. The Guru will ask, which direction is the bird flying? This disciple will point out that. The Guru will twist his nose and this fellow will attain Satori. Nothing of that sort happens in real life. It all happens only in those Zen Buddhism story books. There is another thing. If this fellow does not attain Satori immediately because of this thing, he is given a riddle. It's called Kwan. He is given a Kwan. Kwan means a riddle. The Guru will tell him, go and meditate on this. This is that kind of riddle. Urdhvamulam adhashakam. Go and meditate on, understand what that which has the roots above and the branches below. So he goes and meditates and becomes nothing. They say he becomes nothing, has realized, but he really becomes nothing. That is the truth. They say nothing. He becomes nothing means he really becomes nothing. Because meditating on something which is external, which is the worldly thing, cannot give you the realization. Then what are we doing? We'll understand that shortly. Meditating on a worldly thing cannot give you realization. It is like stupidly meditating on us. Who am I? 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 Nothing will happen. If at all something happens, you will gain the focus of thought, ekagrata, chitta ekagrata, and that too does not happen immediately. That too does not happen quickly, because you are not meditating on a japa which is gained through an initiation from a guru. This you just saw some from some book and then who am I, who am I, who am I? Nothing happens like that. So Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. We have to understand everything here clearly. Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. The tree Ashwatham. Ashwatham, the tree, Ashwatha tree, the banyan tree, which has Ashwatha means banyan. The banyan tree which has the roots above and the branches below. Prahu Avyayam. They say this tree, about this tree, it is Avyaya, eternal. Chandamsi yasya parnani. The Vedas are the leaves for which tree? Yahatam Veda Saveda. One who knows about not the Vedas, one who knows about that tree, he becomes the knower of self. So why are we doing this? तत्र विरक्तस्य एव संसाराद् भगवत तत्त्वज्ञाने अधिकारो भवति इति नान्यथा इति। तत्र विरक्तस्य एव संसाराद् भगवत तत्त्वज्ञाने अधिकारः। भगवत तत्त्वज्ञाने अधिकारः, the eligibility to gain the knowledge of Bhagavan, about Bhagavan, samsarat Bhagavad Tattva Jnane, from the samsara, to get relief from the samsara, that knowledge of Bhagavan, that knowledge of self is important. That for that the eligibility is adhikara virakta seva. Only a person with dispassion is eligible for that. Na anyatha iti, not for any other person. A person without dispassion is not qualified to even talk about the Brahma Jnana, forget about being established in the Brahma Jnana. So, iti purvadhyayuktam parameshwara, this whatever was said in the previous chapter, this is not said in the previous. We'll come to that. Whatever was said in the previous, what was said in the previous chapter? Parameshwara adhyena prakriti purusha sanyoga karyam samsaram. In the previous chapter, what was said? That the prakriti and purusha sanyoga, the association between the prakriti and purusha, is under the control of Ishvara. This we said. And that samsara, that sanyoga is the cause for the samsara. Karyam, tat karyam samsaram. The effect of this association between the Prakriti and Purusha, which is under the spell of, under the control of Ishvara, and because of which the samsara comes into existence, vriksha rupa kalpanaya varnayati. By giving it a form, he is explaining it. Sometimes we give a form to things and to explain it easily. Iti vairagyaya prastuta gunatitatva upayatva tasya. Why are we talking about this? We have to talk about gunatitatva, the means to gain that. Why are we talking about the world? It's useless. No. Talking about the world, the samsara, is necessary here to gain vairagya from it. And that vairagya is important for gaining the gunatitatva state, to be established in the self. Iti tasya urdhvam utkrishtam moolam karanam. Saprakasha paramananda rupatvena nityatvena cha brahma. Urdhvam, higher, superior. Utkrishtam, moolam karanam. Moolam means the root, cause, for which the root is higher or superior, the cause is higher or superior. That, what is that superior, higher? Saprakasham paramananda rupatvena nityatvena cha brahma. The Brahman, which is eternal and which is the absolute bliss and which is a self-effulgent. Because it is self-effulgent, because it is a absolute bliss, and because it is eternal, that self is the superior thing which is the cause for this creation. Athava urdhvam samsara vadhe api abadhitam sarva samsara brahma adhishthanam brahma. Or urdhva means higher. If you don't want to accept it as superior, you can understand it as higher. Higher to what? Higher to even those things, the samsara, even when the samsara is completely negated, this one which does not get negated. Even if the samsara is completely annihilated, this does not, this remains unannihilated, unnegated, non-negated. Sarva samsara brahma adhishthanam brahma. That which is the substratum for the whole creation, the samsara, that Brahman. Tadeva maya moolam asyeti urdhva moolam. And that Brahman is the cause. How can the Brahman be cause? It is changeless, transformationless. We said that, yes, Maya, through the Maya, it becomes as though it is a cause. That is why it is called as urdhva moolam. Because we already said karana karya ananyatam is the base for our teaching. We don't see the effect to be different from the cause. So urdhva moolam. Now This is the natural form. This is natural way to explain things. If you are adapt with your computer softwares, file manager, etc. In file manager, if you click on a folder, the folder expands. Under that, in the left side, you can see the expansions. Under that, there is another folder you click, that also expands. So the folders, the root remains on the top and the folders remain opened below. Okay, so this are the tree diagram or the family tree. When you put a family tree, you don't say my grandfather, great grandfather, he had 5 sons and he has no. You place the great grandfather, who is the root, great grandfather, grandmother, whoever he or she is, that is the root, and below their sons and below their sons and daughters, and below you yourself. So the root is above and the branches which we are below. Okay, so this is seen in the world also. So he says that is the Mula. अथ इति अर्वाचीनाः कार्य उपादयः हिरण्यगर्भाद्यः गृह्यन्ते. अधः, below. Below means what is that below? Purnam adah, purnam idam. There also. This is, or this below is, whatever below is. So, adha means the things which are inferior. Inferior to what? The superior Brahman. What are those inferior things? The Karyopadi, the embodiments which are effects, the effectual embodiments. Like beginning from Hiranyagarbha. Beginning from Hiranyagarbha, every embodiment is a Adha. Tena Nanadik Prasirtatvad Shakha Iva Shakha Asya Iti Adashakam. And they, the effect embodiments are spread in different directions, like the branches of a tree, which spreads in different directions. Like human being, animal, bird, reptiles, things in water, everything. So different forms, trees, plants, etc. In different forms, it is spread. So therefore, Karyopadi. Therefore, it is as though like branch. It is branching out in different directions. Ashu vinashitvena cha shvo api sthata iti vishpasa anarham ashvatham. What does ashvatha mean? Nashvat tishtati iti ashvatha. Here, what does he say? Shvo api. Shva means tomorrow. Shvaha, tomorrow. Parashvaha, day after tomorrow. Hyaha, yesterday. Parahyaha, day before yesterday. Okay? Shyaha, shvaha. So, shvaha. Api sthata iti vishpasa anarham. It will be there tomorrow. This kind of belief you cannot have in this. I saw him yesterday. I didn't think about it. This is the problem. This life is so short. We have this petty ego and all that. That fellow, he cursed me. That's Shivam. That's Vadu. He cursed me. Actually, he used so abusive words. But what is the point in holding on to the grudge? So this is what you have to see. Shwopi statum anarha. It is nothing is qualified to exist for the next day. I will speak tomorrow. I'll talk to him tomorrow or her tomorrow. You postpone, and tomorrow, if that person is not there, your whole life becomes miserable. So this is what happened for Yudhishthira. Once Yudhishthira was met by this person who asked him something. I want some money or something. Yudhishthira said, normally we have this rule. After some people follow this rule very strictly. After they put the lamp in the evening, they don't give money. Some people follow it here. So something like that. He said, okay, tomorrow morning I'll give you tomorrow. Or he was a little busy or lazy or something. He said, come tomorrow, I'll give you tomorrow morning. Bhima was hearing this and he took a drum and started beating the drum. When people came and asked, because that kind of drum, it is called dandora. Dandora means when you beat that, it means you have a message to say to the people. People come there. What happened? What's the news? My brother, my elder brother, Yudhishthira, he has become Trikala Jnani. He has become knower of all the three periods of time. What? Yudhishthira says. When? I myself don't know about that. If you are talking about Sahadeva something, that's okay. Because those fellows, they are expert in adept in astrology. I have no idea about what you are saying. Then Bhima reminds him, you just told that fellow that come tomorrow and I will give you this object or this money. Meaning you knew that tomorrow you will be alive, he will be alive, and that money will be there. So you are a Trikala Jnani. Then Yudhishthira understood his fallacy and he immediately called upon that fellow and he gave that object or money, whatever it is he wanted. So that is the thing. We don't have any proof that it will exist tomorrow. That is why it is Ashwatha. Ashwatha is banyan, but here Ashwatha means it doesn't have, there is no evidence that it will exist tomorrow. Mayamayam samsara vriksham. What are we talking about? This samsara tree, which is illusory. Avyayam. Why do we call this? Where have we seen this kind of tree, which there is no guarantee that it will exist tomorrow, and it has its root up under the branches below? Where have we seen that? We have seen this kind of. I have seen this. You have you? No, we have almost everyone of us have seen this kind of a vision. Where? Not in our dreams, in our waking state. If we have been to some river bank, when you sit on this bank and see on the other side, the tree which is standing on the ground, on the bank of that side, the shadow of that is falling upside down. There the root is, and towards you the branches are. Close to you the leaves are. So we have experienced this. Like that, vision is a reflection, therefore it is illusory, it is not real. This samsara vriksha is also illusory and not real. That is the idea. Avyayam, avyayam, navyati tyagvyam. It does not undergo any transformation because anadi ananta dehadi santana ashrayam. Because it is dependent upon ashrayam. It is dependent upon, it has taken refuge in the beginningless, endless cycle of embodiments. When we are first born, this is the biggest issue with many of these religions. They were born in time, whereas Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana means eternal. There is no time here. When we are first born, this another beauty of Sanatana Dharma. When we are first born, we don't accept this first. Why? Because that firstborn is because of the past karmas. The punya papa is the equation which is very important to Sanatana Dharma and which is a specific thing to Sanatana Dharma. No religion accepts this punya papa. Punya papa, they may accept good, bad deed, maybe. But there is no evidence in any of these religions to accept this punya papa to be carried forward to the next birth, because they don't accept next birth, rebirth. That is the issue. You understand? So he says, Anadi Ananta Deha. It is beginningless, endless bodies, its organ of association. And Atmajnana Mantrena Anuchedyam, and it cannot be cut asunder without gaining the knowledge of self. This flow cannot be cut. The flow of birth and death cannot be cut without gaining the knowledge of self. Anuchedyam. Anantam Avyayam Ahuhu. This is what we call as Anantam, endless, changeless. Ahuhu. It's not Ahu, Ahu it is. Who says this? Shrutaya Smrutayascha. The Shrutis and Smritis say this. Where did the Shruti say? Shruti says this. Urdhva moolam ardhvak shakah yesho ashvatsa sanatana. It looks similar, right? If it looks similar to Bhagavad Gita, understand that is the Shruti Katha Upanishad. Katha Upanishad is many a time here verbatimly quoted or almost taken similarly to the Katha Upanishad. So, Urdhvam Moolah, here also Urdhvam Moolam, Arvak Shaka, Adash Shaka, Yesho Ashvatha, Ashvatham, Prahuravyayam Sanatana, Ayam Sanatana. So, Yesha Ashvatha Sanatana. Ityadhya Katavallishu Bhatitaha. This is said in Katavalli. Arvancho Nikrishtaha Karyopadya. Arvancha means the below things, means the Karyopadis, the embodiments of effect. Mahada Ahankara Tanmatra Vedova. We don't have to see that it is Hiranyagarbha, etc. You can see is Mahata Ahankara Tanmatra, etc. In that form also, there is no problem with that. Shakaha Siti Arvak Shakaha. That is which the Shakas, the branches for this. Therefore, it is Arvak Shakaha. Arvak Shaka iti Adashakam Pada Samanartha. Arvak Shaka and Adashaka, they have same meaning. They are not different things. Similarly, Sanatana iti Avyaya Pada Samanartham. Sanatana there and Avyaya here is a same meaning. This is what Shruti says. Smriti also says similar things. What it says, we'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.